to be dependent or revealed. This whole G run at you style, because we saw like you can change your itemization, but you generally don't change your overall game style, right? They go double minuses and they're still diving tier 2 towers at 20 minutes. So like, well, it doesn't sync up all that well together, and they were nearly able to accomplish it. You know, 50 more damage, Little Pleb dives before he's able to get off that Omni Slash, while they already had like a 5k net worth lead, and maybe this game is completely different.
Using some reserve time, huh?
Question of Viper, yes or no?
Dire team ban.
And it's a no. Bugna. Alright. So last time they banned out Techie's Timber. So
Radiant
probably gonna first pick the
pick.
Timber. Maybe. I mean, Morphling
Dire
available too.
team pick.
Yeah, possible.
There you go. First pick Morphling.
Do you just go mana burn now, Ro, right? Like, haven't you seen a lot of anti-mage against the Morphling, especially?
Yeah. I think you need to have the capability to play at 3 though.
10 seconds remaining.
Yeah. And I guess that we haven't really seen BNC do that
5
much. I mean, the other thing
seconds
is, Morphling, you are a 1 or a 2. You're not a 3.
Dire
You know,
team
Seb can
pick.
play a lot of heroes, but you know, even like full meme, I much rather this. The full meme, like adaptive strike maxed out just for the stun component of the Morphling, and you become like a stunner to start these fights. It doesn't make a lot of. I would have certainly rather see the
10
Timbersaw come
seconds
first,
remaining.
and I'm assuming that they could. I was about to say
5
they could still
seconds
look to
remaining.
just go it themselves, but I don't think they would hate Ancient try picking it up either. You know, Morphling
Radiant
into the Timber
team
feels
pick.
pretty solid. Even Morphling into the AA as well. You just need to avoid on Ancient Tribe picking a strength hero now, because he just wants that status resist on the Morphling at this point. You just want to be able to outlast the Ice Blast
10
damage.
seconds
Say
remaining.
Oracle.
Yeah.
5
A, because
seconds remaining.
Torrent sobs in, and B, because it would still be pretty decent on track. It's
Yes.
good against the AA. In the lane, it's decent against the Timbersaw, right? If it's not a Timber mid.
Yep. All those reasons. I do want to go back to what you were saying, because I didn't want to completely interrupt the thought process. I think everything you were saying was on point. I mean, this is Morphling Timber. You don't give a damn about this matchup. Like, it's just so dumb. You get the Scepter, you get full reactive armor stacks when you pop it, even when you swap back to the Morphling. So I know, and like you said, status resistance is so important versus the Ancient Apparition. So you need like a long stun to set up for the AA now and to blow Morph up in that combo.
Well, actually, like, I wonder, maybe you don't need
Radiant
to like
team
go into a
back.
strength hero now. Because like, if you could just get the Timbersaw, who cares about this freaking AA ulti, right? Like, you've got the shield that is just like unremovable unless you go a Yule Scepter or a Nullifier for, I want to say it lasts 8 seconds. And you know, AA blast lasts around
10 seconds
10
remaining.
or so. So like, you're basically going to be able to avoid all the bad times as long as
seconds
you're able to pop
remaining.
that reactive armor as a response. So whatever Ancient Tribe pick up, it better be something that builds Nullifier or Yule Scepter, because great against both the Spirit Breaker and the Morphling once he's able to Axe Morph into the Timber, or just something with an
Dire
offensive
team
display,
back.
because it's absolutely needed. This.
I wonder if they had the Faceless Void ban with the Anti-Mage, because of course, I mean, I'm a little bit of a more fan versus Void myself, but I think with the Ancient Apparition
10
it's just too
seconds
strong of a pairing,
remaining.
and you're needing an AoE stun. And I mean, in general, people kind of like the matchup at the
5
moment as well, so
seconds
it's not like it
remaining.
plays too bad into the Morphling, and of course you have your AA pairing. So I wonder if that's something that OG are going to consider.
Very, very possible.
Radiant team ban.
I mean,
Dire
I think
team
Ancient
back.
Tribe just need to like up the pace. You know, you can look to fight basically as soon as AA6. You can constantly You know, make sure that this Morphling gets punished if he joins team fights too early. Make sure that if he joins team fights too early and he dies, he's much slower towards that Aghanim scepter. Timber's still going to
10
be,
seconds
you know,
remaining.
during his damage spike era at this point. And, you know, go
5
something like,
seconds
I don't
remaining.
know, you afford to like Jakiro this game. I just want a Yule Scepter builder that's able to also do damage to towers. To me, Jakiro is
Radiant
basically the king
team
of
ban.
early game. I want more wood. We'll want to save that until a bit
Dire
later, just
team
thinking
ban.
somewhat of this Timbersaw flex available for themselves. Picking up what I'm putting down, brother.
A little bit. I think the Jakiro is an interesting call. I think Dark Willow could be something else you're considering, but
10
Dark Willow into
seconds
morph, you
remaining.
could steal.
Yes,
Just
and
thinking of a
also.
Yule Scepter builder.
Oh yeah, no,
5 seconds
totally. I
remaining.
was actually thinking it as well. I'm worried that it's not a tower, and at least Jakiro helps with that.
Dire team pick.
It's like,
Darkseid ban.
it's the SP.
Yeah, but also maybe signals they. Is that enough? I don't know if that's enough of a read. I guess, I mean, if you pick it, yeah, sure, actually, because you're about to beat your second
Radiant
support, and you're
team
obviously
pick.
thinking about not having someone with a way to purge shell. So, go down the Rubik route. So, nor here nor there.
It's
Just a
okay.
Rubik.
I could certainly see it being hero. Like,
Yeah, same.
the more I see that your
10
Willow suggestion, I
seconds
like,
remaining.
because again, it would have been into the Spirit Breaker as well, which feels
5
The Rubik
seconds
doesn't really-
remaining.
solve the issue that I had before in terms of tower take. It's nothing that you're going to be able to
Radiant
deal, at least at
team
this
pick.
point, that's going to assist with. Into the Rubik as well. Black hole in, boys.
Well, they've already kind of banned out some of the nice lane matchups, I suppose, versus Enigma. Sven
10
and
seconds remaining.
Naga to be able to deal with the Eidolons.
What about Bristleboy, though?
5
Well,
seconds
Alchemist.
remaining.
It'd be hard to kill an alchemist. They don't have a lot of burst damage. You got that chemical rage going.
Is Alka good hero currently? A lot of people have been saying they think the nerfs really hit him.
Against Enigma, it's good. All those Eidolons in lane. And again, you can be fast-paced. Hell, you could even get really selfless and just give Timbersaw an early axe.
Dire
What are you gonna do?
team pick.
Bounty hunter.
Gonna track him. That's what you're gonna do. Using bounty pick. This is one that Rogers called for. So playing with 9 pandas, did see a lot of bounty hunter on that team. So what is the setup
10
going to
seconds
be? Is this
remaining.
going to be Seb playing the Enigma? I think more than likely. Really the only support I'm seeing
5
playing the
seconds
Enigma is
remaining.
Secret with Poppy.
So I think this is going to be a bounty hunter as a for this game, specifically because bounty is one of those heroes that has A, high mobility, and B, high armor. So if you go these bristleback alchemist pairings that deal with the Eidolons, it's really not going to do much against the bounty hunter. And then he can still look to stand in your face against a weak-ish lane support and still get a lot of like, you know, shadow. Is it shadow dance? Shadow walk
What?
stuns off,
Yep.
and Janata yoinks too. I quite like the bounty hunter pick here.
Seems like there's a little bit of weaknesses, no? Though with the early game damage with the Spirit Breaker bounty support duo.
Radiant team
That's
ban.
a huge weakness for
Drow
them.
Ranger.
You know, it's really putting a lot onto
Ooh.
Topson, and they don't go. I mean, it's a physical damage
Sin-
hero and
sin
multi-shot,
signal.
able to deal with those Eidolons. But yeah, you are not a melee hero. You are not going to get your gold yoinked away. So I wonder, like, it is a Drow being picked into a Spirit Breaker, which, you know, doesn't
10
feel
seconds
amazing.
remaining.
But I feel like the lane is going to go just fine for you.
5
Picked
seconds
it into
remaining.
Morphling, that's a big thing. We saw it banned out last game as well in the last phase, so you know, it is a little pleb staple, something that is very comfortable, and I think he's even run it so far in the tour as well. They will have a chance to respond to it. I think Ancient Tribe, they need a hero. They need a way to start fights. You have
Yes.
0 AA setup,
Dire team ban.
so that cannot be a thing as this game goes on.
Also, you just have to consider how much of this drow is like a specific old G counter as well. When's the last time you saw Topson play Puck? You know, when's the last time you saw Topson play Ember Spirit or Storm Spirit? Like, these are the heroes that old G are banning because they need that setup. I would have loved a Puck for Ancient Tribe. You know, it provides everything that you were talking about. A space creator for the drow, holds people into place for both the AA and the Timber Saw. Would have been amazing, but can you, like, Pango is the one that Topson plays. Can you think of anything else in that mid lane that really plays as like that big early damage both and team fight controller and is able to stay on top of the Drow Ranger?
Not really anymore. I used to play them. Just having fun with some of the heroes. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, they honestly both need it from either side, so we will look to see what is banned out. Well, okay, so because OG are gonna have to pick first. Gonna be, I think you still ban Ember. Is Ember still a must ban? They ban Wind Ranger, okay.
What has Topson even been playing? Sniper, Zeus, he's been playing a lot. Quap, he's been playing a lot, but I feel like Zeus is just way too passive. Quap could maybe work, but then Ancient Tribe have a response to it and they could like Lena and then just try and crush it in the lane.
Dire team pick.
Clinks.
Okay. Something a little bit different.
Alright. I don't know. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie, I don't know. So I still think the same thing.
Look at my face. Look at
10
his face.
I don't
Like,
know what to play into it. Topson's
This
chuckling.
big smiles coming through from him.
5
He's
seconds.
like, yeah, they're gonna have to play off against my clicks. They might not even know I'm playing another hero. Who the hell? What else is he playing?
That's the most concerned face I've ever seen in my life. Roach concerned. We enjoy it. I don't know. I'll be honest. I don't know what they want to pick specifically against the Clinks here. They do need control, right? You can't let this lineup just run at the Spirit Breakers. Sure.
Now select your
This
heroes.
is fine. Mid bars. No, I mean, see, right? But then it's a Topson mid Clinks. What's the last time you saw a core Clinks?
I think Shiro played it. Very recently, I think it was Shiro that played it.
Right? Shut me right up.
Yes, I did indeed. Was ready for that one. Everybody's rallying the troops. This is hype. It's easy matchup. They give him the timber. He's ready for it. My suggestion was going to be DK. If I have enough time to say something before the pick. So
I think they needed a little AoE control, right? They have nothing outside of this month.
And it should be, you know, you're playing it into the Morphling though, so always able to get out of the arena. But like you said, it is something that is a must for them, having some AoE control and at least a way to set up for LeBron. So I'm really intrigued to see how this mid matchup goes though, with the Clinks and the Timber. That's the big thing for me. Like what is the build going to be for Topson as well? What are you thinking of going? Because we see a lot of the 4 Clinks is like Solar Crest, and then you can almost rush Nullifier, and you can kind of go for a couple items here and there. But I really wonder what the position 2 Clinks build is going to be.
Yeah, I wonder as well. I mean, I also wonder, like, yes, you've got a Drow to be able to help out a little bit with it, but I say Ancient Tribe want to end the game early, but are you going to be able to? You know, Little Pleb played a great game in game number 1. He was the co MVP at the end of everything, and well, even just things like being able to give a Timber Sword much of that agi bonus, right, off of the marksmanship, can feel pretty nice. You know, Timber, universal hero, gives them a little bit of extra right-click damage into the towers just to help out that little bit, because it really does feel like Ancient Tribe are on a timer. Luckily for them, though, they've got BNC on a hero that he was amazing on in game number 1, and they've got some pretty good lanes.
You'll have to do better than that.
Let us see what position we are in heading in to the second game of the series. I am also trying to check
Shiro's build.
We did indeed. Yeah, I'm trying to see who played that Clinks. Okay. Did I find it? I think I found it. because I'm very intrigued on what the item build was for him. So
I wonder how much that little pleb did the "you'll have to do better than that" voice emote. I wonder how much of that was directed at Topson, just to say mid clinks. Really, we'll see.
We'll see. So the build was 1 Falcon Blade into Treads, and then Deso, Dragonlance, and a Lincolns. They won in 25 minutes versus Spirit.
That wasn't a mid clink.
No,
30
no, that
seconds
was not
to
a mid
battle.
clink. So yes, I suppose, but that is the closest I can get for you. So quit your complaining.
You're gonna say, "Come on, I heard us."
do you
Shut your
mean?
mouth is what you were saying. I know.
No,
what
I
you
was
were
actually going
about
to say something else. I was
Okay.
going to actually, yeah, and that is, I cannot say that. So we'll keep it. We'll keep
Was
it.
it suck it?
No, no, it wasn't. But sure, we can go with that.
The battle begins.
It's like,
Oh, pleb
Yes.
cannot be dying early on.
oh, my friend, you cannot. It looks like he might. Oh, Roger didn't go for it. I said preemptively tipped him. No, you got to get the kill if you're going to do that.
Oh, you're the
Wait,
fate bolt,
Roger?
man. Damage reduction.
You'll have to do
Nice.
better than that. You'll have to do better than that.
All right, all
Let's
right,
see.
all right. Damn, Seb's Grandmaster. The guy did not know that. I know he's
Man
Grandmaster,
is a
but
grinder.
This dude, yes, man is a grinder. I know he's Grandmaster of a lot of heroes. I did not know Enigma was one of them. He grenaded the Eidolons. What am I looking at? Is that actually... That's really cool. Okay. Their first Eidolons to play with, so this wave now, you're not going to be able to get the range creep. I mean, you have a bounty hunter. How is he going to secure it?
You see many Blightstones on Enigma to start out the game? Because I don't. Certainly can eventually build into like a Solar Crest or a Medallion. I mean, of course, it does enable your Bounty Hunter quite heavily, but without the Eidolons, they're just lacking the damage to deal with LeBron, even with how aggressively he's positioning himself.
Got a lot of action. Oh, well, look back and actually see how it's breaking out. We might have a potential kill on LeBron. I'm doing a really good job with his positioning, and yeah, Roger's going to run underneath the sentry range, so at least he has now a good idea of where those sentries are positioned.
Say he's going to get himself killed, but he knows that there's not a sentry too close to the tower. Just went into tower range for the tower right click and then out of it. He's not going to be able to snipe the courier before it delivers that next blood grenade. So Seb is like, my poor Eidolons, my boys, what they do to you? You can see how hesitant he is for being able to go for one of these right clicks. The Shadow Walk is just about to wear off, but I'm not sure how effective this is going to be. They don't have Eidolons.
Goes
Roger. Oh, they might get Seb as well. And they're going to tip him. Oh, no. They got the multi-shot too. Ooh,
You'll have to do better than that.
Another preemptive tip. Oh, no. Oh, it backfires.
Mental warfare. It's too strong.
Oh, my
That
God.
tower regen. I think he even had the flag bearer creep regen as well, just in range at the time, so that extra 3 ended up helping him out. He survived on about 10 HP. Oh, I think he just he might have been salved as well, and well, the ice vortex cancelled that one out. So I mean, very, very difficult for the Enigma. I mean, it's an Enigma that you picked into a Rubik to start off with, but you picked this to crush like melee laners, and they just went ahead and picked a Drow. So of course, Drow into the Spirit Breaker, it can be a little bit more challenging for you, but outside of that, he's pretty nice and
Yeah,
aggressive.
speaking about bottom, they are kind of fighting over the Lotus pool. A little back and forth going on. We see kind of the priority, and the lane we haven't really paid too much attention to. So how do we feel about this one though? Like you see, no one is having a pretty good time. That's you're not expecting to change anytime soon.
No, I don't think so. I mean, even if you do get like lifted and speared, you've always got the waveform to be able to get back towards safety. Like he's still playing cautious-ish because he knows that just at level 3, you never really want to be going the waveform this early on. There's even more attention being given over to BNC. No one, and it's some good laning mechanics that have been able to put
It
through.
might
Right?
die. Ooh.
You're always naturally going to be pushing the wave in with this, right? Like Spirit Breaker charging through. consistently looking to right click and actually get a surprise kill up top, but it might still result in flip. Not worth it.
Lanes are lined with the likes of you.
Alright, 1 for 1. Keep going, give a high five. Come on. Oh, no high fives.
Difference was they had Ironlocks. That was what enabled them to get that kill. Is actually bottom side. Did they get a lucky bash through here? Not going to be as lucky this time, even with the blood grenade onto BNC. He's going to live, at least for the next little bit. Cautious.
And his 2 points adaptive strike are really putting in work down bottom. Want to look at mid really quick before we have any action down at the side lanes any further. Topson 26 and 1 compared to the 24 and 6. So it looks like both these heroes are having a pretty good time. What do we expect out of the early game from both of them as well? Like, well, what is their kind of role?
Bottom lane. I mean, there's not going to be any kills that Topson's getting onto Mobe. No chance. He's got 3 points reactive armor, even the tar bomb. It's physical damage, right? So he's going to be able to avoid a lot of that. I'm just expecting from the Timber Sword to be able to sit back and farm, right? You just need to make sure that you're getting into a lot of these early items at a really effective period. I mean, I did ask for a nullifier builder from LG, and Flinks is one of the better ones.
All a gift.
You'll have to do better than
With
that.
a tip. Is that the last one that Seb's got for the whole game?
I think he's got one more. Topson
You will
might-
have...
Sorry.
Yeah, he should be okay.
Radiant's middle
Death
tower
pack
is
up in
under
2
attack.
seconds. 6. Yeah, from Topson, I'm not expecting too much different out of what you even see from a support clicks. You're just going to get those items a bit faster. The Falcon Blade, the Solar Crest. I think he can look
Radiant
to rush
are
towards the
scanning.
Nullifier, or at least he wants to have a bit of a read as to when he's going to.
Radiant structure.
There's the third.
There's the last one. Oh, they even wanted to keep it a Marvin. Oh no, that is... Oh, you're going to get the kill LeBron as well. Yeah, that's just a freebie. And this is going to be a lot of damage under the tower. This is a catapult wave with a double wave with Eidolon. So this tower is going to take decent chunk. He's going to TP.
Yep.
He's making a walk of shame back to top on pleb. So this tower is probably dead. Oh, maybe.
I mean, so the thing is, like, when this is happening, you're thinking, all right, well, we've got an outnumber here potentially on the bottom side, but they made so many support rotations that are actually, once again, Kitrak, he's playing a great game. Like, he's coming back towards this bottom side, he's keeping the harassment up onto the mud. If no one's able to get this kill, he might even
Dyer's top
stick
tower is
around.
under attack.
Oh, can he get the deny? He got it. Okay. No one almost just bossed the hell up. That side step of the spear was so goddamn wild.
Hey, knew it was coming though, right? They had the charge
Oh,
onto him at
come
the time.
on. Give the man some props. Come
Never.
on.
We didn't give the
What?
supports MVP last game. I'm
That
feeling
wasn't my
vengeful.
fault. Blame
Alright.
the production.
Okay, production's great. Let's not shame them.
I
as
said
Kitrak.
we should do all 5. Yeah, all right.
We still get Kitrak being able to steal away the Wisdom Rune. You've got one available on the old G side as well, so really couldn't have asked for too much of a better laning stage coming out for them. Obviously, they still did give away the first blood, but gone back in their favor and even just giving Pleb a little bit of farm in this mid lane because they know that they can't come up top here.
He can't play mid though. They have way
Radiant's
too many
top
heroes
tower
that can
is under
rotate early in the
attack.
bounty and the Spirit Breaker. This is not a lane that he can play. I mean, even Seb's still here as well. This guy got black hand. He's going to be poisoned as well. One of the teammates did. He'll wave inside the ultimate and Kitrak. Oh, it won't be an aggressive tip.
He's a positive
Would it be
guy.
one to praise Seb? And what a rotation. What a black hole it is from the offlaner.
Sutherx guide my arrows.
Kitrak is a very, very positive guy, much like myself. Bro, his name is his real name backwards, all right? We got something. Real name backwards, but, the backwards tech.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Dude, Seb's not done. Who cares about laning top? There's some kills across the map and some kills to play with. I'm the Housen brothers out early on, and this is another kill that Seb will be involved in. Mega killing streak for Seb. This man, this is a statement game. His last game, Coddle, it was alright. Wasn't up to Seb's standard though. Wasn't up to his par. This game,
Dyer's
he
bottom
comes
tower
in
is under
and he
attack.
gets tip to start from Lil Pleb. He's like, who the hell is this guy? I'm a 2-time TI winner. Keep your mouth shut. Let me start to rotate on the map. Go 5-0. Have a 3k lead. And now look at them. They're all in the jungle. They're cowering from it.
We'll understand.
Maybe not
Maybe
most.
not the tip though, yeah. you gotta be careful on that one. I mean, it does turn around a little bit, right, when LeBron is able to hit up onto level 6. Even just the Drow getting level 6, you know, for a little bit of that extra damage coming out, it means that, you know, just the one-pointed gust gives a lot of value in this sort of lineup. Stop the SD charge. Roger, but he is making a ton of space.
4 heroes. Can he get the all?
Go!
Alright. Solar Crest completed now. Option.
And that's the thing, right? You got the Drow still has the Spirit Breaker and I guess you could say the Bounty Hunter, right? You're going to have that marksmanship disabled in a lot of this. So it really, again, just falls down to BSC, and look at how much more attention they're giving it this time around. They're saying, Mars, not the greatest farmer, and we are not going to let you get into that early blink dagger. We're not even going to let you get phased. No soul ring either. About as much farm as our bounty hunter does. Free trap.
And I mean, Mars's game is it's pretty much over. You're a relatively decent laner, but you do not recover. It's just as simple as that. So if you're wanting this hero to be able to scale, you have to just miraculously somehow get kills in arena and get the rewards from the enemy team. But your potential of being like some crazy late game threat, it's not there. You will just be a blink initiator now, which is what they need. Don't get me wrong, that is what they need. Is a big reason why they picked it. Also because you had an incredible game 1.
One out. He just hits up onto his own level 6, so now if they do venture too far underneath that vision, of course you can turn around, which might be the thing that brings them back into it. You know, 5k network lead.
Pretty decent ice blast. They're trying to step out of it. Oh, nice stun from Roger, just on the chain away. A perfect timing. And now even no one's coming through from the rift as well. They know how truly strong they are, and they see 3 kills equals 3 gold and a lot of it as well. The track from Roger. That's going to be a double track kill tower to their name. 6,000 net worth lead. This could get out of hand very fast. I mean, it already might be.
Already got the treads coming up for Topson, going straight into the Desolator. So, you know, I was thinking that Ancient Tribe, they were really gearing up to play a little bit more aggressively than Old G were, but I mean, the brain fart, bit of a seniors moment. Getting just how aggressive Old G liked to go. You know, they did it in game number 1, didn't work out for them, but they're hard to experience to completely go back to something that's a different strategy from what's given them so much success in the past.
No.
Falling tracks, nice.
Illusion.
Rely on that heavily.
Que top é esse, cara? Que top é esse, cara?
Put it on to Topson, but of him at this point in time, he's going to walk out of that sentry range too. Although he's about to go back into it.
It's a pretty decent arena. He's trying to do whatever he can to try and disrupt, but it will not be enough as they just go a little bit too deep. And BNC turns up, and that's pretty good first real big involvement out of the Mars.
Fortunately, it is Alex that gets the last hit on it. Of course, BNC would have loved to be able to have comfortably finished up the Soul Ring, get a decent way towards the Blink Dagger, a little Pleb as well. Been hindered by this early game. He's got a nice neutral item in the Spark of Courage, just 3 Wraith Bands though, that he's looking to play around it. He doesn't feel like he's ever going to be in a situation where comfortable how these lanes have gone. Roger not looking to just go full yoink. Matthew though. Rhea sniping Hoy.
Oh.
What a shot!
Alright. Topson no one. Just watching the bounty hunter up to his bounty hunter shenanigans, and meanwhile we see just BNC go down to a couple cores, and they're going to also aggressively take over some of the farm as well. So not only are they getting kills and taking towers, you're also just further minimizing the camps that Ancient Tribe can farm to potentially get their way back in this game.
They are, and I mean, look at even this observer ward that they
under
placed
attack.
up to the right of Little Pleb. Like, the trees have just grown back on this top side of the map, but he was literally farming the neutral cramp there on the top side because he just can't do it like
Damn it, that was so much damage.
Ruin on someone.
Should be able to at least. So they'll also get a D ward. Oh, they're going to give it to Pleb.
Dire's middle tower is under
fair
attack.
enough. Fair enough. And I'm Seb going for his
Dire's
Helm of the
middle
Overlord
tower
build.
has
We
fallen.
are going to see a very fast-paced OG, and they can look at Roche, I think, by when he completes it. So
Lead City will be
what
playing on
is
the top side. Already walked in this top
Dire's
tower.
top tower is under attack.
That and I mean, Kid Shrek again.
Dire's
He's playing another
structures are
very
fortified.
good early game spirit.
Regeneration.
No deaths at this point, and he's just looking to consistently charge people and make space for his cores while they're in there. I say they're greedier stage, but Topson and CEB have not been playing greedy. They have been playing aggressive.
good positioning? This is Smoke, unfortunately, they got a sentry nearby. Done his job. Seb just got out of range. It's still an awkward position for the Enigma. Even Mobe chains aggressively into the middle. He's going to be able to sidestep the Ice Blast, but it puts him one spot closer to Lil Pleb's arrows. So a 2-for-1 in the end. And I don't know how many track he'll...
Two. Not two. It just wore off. Like, this guy still ran off towards the very end there, so he wasn't able to get more than that. The gold does go over to Pleb. So, pluses, to be sure. Again, you just cannot show ever on these lanes. That's why they're having to get really creative with where some of these wards are, where they can look to farm neutral creeps as opposed to other creep waves. They're obviously the sentries as well. Putting them really deep serves multi-purpose, right? It's going to be able to find out where Roger's looking to enable those charges through, but also it allows you to get the kill onto Roger, and it prevents them from being able to just have information about where they can look to play next. But the fight previously was about even, you know, but LG, they don't want even. They want to get to this early ages. They want to be in a position to use an early-ish Desolator, which Topson is only about 400 gold away from, be able to really take away all of the map. The Drow especially has potential.
Some more stages, you're... What is kind of game plan now for OG having this ages advantage? What is it T2 tower time? Just go from lane to lane?
They're happy enough to just take away Ancient Tribe's team fight, and that's BNC. Like, you can see they've already started the charge in onto him. They do have an observer ward that's going to... Never mind, that's an OG observer ward. So hopefully Mighty Senses are tingling enough
Radiant's
on BNC
bottom
that he's going to be able to
is
back
under
off.
attack.
Phase Boots just 400 gold away from the Blink Dagger. Really does feel like it's going to be
Radiant's
decision-making
middle
that's
tower
going to
is under
change
attack.
the next little
Dire's
bit of
top
this
tower
game.
is under attack.
That Blink though,
Need Mobe.
Radiant's
yeah, they
bottom
do.
tower is under attack.
can't just walk up onto this high ground. I'm a little surprised that they did look to make an attempt here. Like, they're not under the smoke, you don't have the Blink Dagger on the Mars. You need it, and you need the Timber Sword there for
Radiant
the
are
down.
scanning.
They're gonna be too late now. They're like potentially they know it's work. They're scan connected, so Topson pings up the high ground. Really good read. There's no reason for them to play here unless there's a ward nearby. Like you said, they're gonna go around instead, maybe anticipating Ancient Tribe. If they're gonna leave anywhere and go to another powerful position, could be towards their own triangle. And I mean, their read, it would. Oh man, they were so close to walking up there. They will. LeBron will face check. Let's go. Face LeBron. Ice Blast just on a Roger. Look at the first kill and don't have to commit anything else really.
Stupid set. Sorry, observer ward. That's called Sentry.
That's the name. They've run into Mobe though. And there's just no escape. Not with the Spirit Break. He's going to be able to buy some time for the team. Whoa, no way. What a... No. Oh my god, no one. Beautifully done. Walks right next to the He has more than enough time to the poison. That's a hell of a blink. BNC. Ice Blast. So there is no follow-up, and without any Drow nearby to poke in the damage. OG, they will be able to play that accordingly, just safely reposition, evaluate how they can go about it. and they see a freebie in LeBron Dota.
So close. So close to being able to get that damage. I mean, you see the effect of the Blink Dagger though, right? It gives them team fight. It gives them space for, you know, the AA to potentially look to play around. Good Ice Vortex being laid out there, but you need the Ice Blast, like you were saying. And Trout being able to turn up with a multi-shot might have been the difference maker. She's level 12 now. She's got the Hurricane Pike as well to be able to play around with, just to stay away from this Clinks and the Eidolons, but it's going to need to be around that next arena that you're really looking to fight.
Means there's a little 35-second window then forward G. They're even spoken as to it's going to be Topson and Kitrak in combination together to sweep across the map. They should know though with that
Dire's
cliff
middle
ward.
tower is under attack.
Yeah, they're pinging out. They see the skeleton.
Well, no one's actually just going to BKB. Get about Ags.
Dire's
Maybe
bottom
anticipating.
tower is under attack.
But this Yules is coming. Be able to contest him.
Dire's structures
pretty
are
amazing from
fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Aggressive. They're
Radiant's
basically
middle
resigned
tower
themselves
is
to saying,
under
you know
attack.
what? We're going to lose our tier 2 tower. There's nothing we can do about it. Let's try and get something else in response, but they're not going to be able to. Topson playing around that top lane. Hard to kill. KB as well.
Dire are scanning.
Basically, just don't take Timbersaw damage is the MO for all G right.
Reactions.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
They will definitely take it.
Radiant's
No
turret
one's going to be able to scurry away with them in the ages. Oh, come on. You could have had a
Radiant's
better
middle
timing in the
tower is
tip.
under
I'm
attack.
actually disappointed with that one. I've liked all the tips so far, but you had one left, I think, and you use it like that. There's a long game ahead of us. There's a long road potentially. You're also down 9,000 gold.
Dire's middle tower is under
Base.
attack.
They're doing a good job. They are clawing it back. But he's out of tips. What happens if they claw it back even more? Then what do you do?
Given another wisdom rune, so bringing himself up to level 13 now. We're looking to scale, you know, the gust of
Dire's
force,
top tower is under
extra silence
attack.
duration against the team.
Nice stun. Set up from Alex, the first one in. It's gonna be no escape. They are continuing to claw back. They've got some really good wards across the map. They see Seb back at the triangle farming. We get a vision of Kitrak, and the ward that also just the creeps were there naturally as well. So they are doing a good job to stem the bleeding, and that is truly the important thing. They're starting to get control back of their own areas of the map to help them cover some of the gold.
He's actually finished. All right, pretty decent timing for Alex, and he had the track stolen once again. It's just worn off, and well, Seppi was just letting the wisdom runes mature a little bit. He wanted to make sure that he could get 15 ready on this Enigma. Go once again. I think they really realize how important these BKBs are. They're not going to be this synergistic timing where they all happen at the exact same time and you're able to go and not worry about the Mars Arena at all, not worry about the Timbersaw, enable you to just stack on top of the Drow and really reduce all of her output. But they're going to come in a similar sort of timing, maybe 2 or so minutes, but maybe that 2 minutes is going to be what Ancient Tribe need to be able to, you know, claw this net worth lead back even further in their favor.
Silny move. Silny strzał.
We are seeing that. Looks like hold that because top lane. No one see Mobe? Yeah, but not going to continue the chase. So Mobe's going to go through the rift. I mean, we are seeing play like starting to posture a little bit more aggressively as well. You know, just trying to get that kill, the mid lane onto the bounty. So he's feeling a little bit stronger with all the wisdoms they provide him. That's the talents to work with. And he's
Level 18, 15 talent is going to be pretty huge, right? Like, again, it's still a case where you find a
Radiant's
lot of
bottom
difficulty
tower is
showing on
under
lane.
attack.
So having 8 extra seconds off the multi-shot duration almost doubles its uptime. Kind of crazy.
You know, there was a lot of talk about this hero with the Ag Shard going to the Scepter, just 40 more. Hold that because BNC with the bounty scouting him out, so they should be able to get the kill. It does get a little before the charge. Very nice spear as well. That's probably going to be enough to keep them alive. They do see Mo Mobe as well. Seb's already used Blink, so if he goes for the straight TP, he might be able to make it.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A lot of people are speaking about kind of the shard going to the scepter was a big nerf, just because of 1400 gold compared to 4200 gold is a drastic change in how expensive it costs, and it can delay other items. Can we see it this game though? Because you are against the Morphling, there is a lot of value. I mean, Seb, of course, some of the auras as well.
Radiant's middle
Is this
tower
something that
is
he
under
could be
attack.
considering, and if so, when could we see it?
Damage.
I think there's a potential for it to be the next item, right? Like you got a bunch of raid
Radiant's
fans. You're
middle
going to be
tower
able
has
to
been denied.
pick up a lot more of this farm for yourself, just off the back of having the Lincoln Spear to be able to play around with. So at least you know that there's not going to be some Spirit Breaker charge coming in. It really just is going to be a little bit understanding where the track is at all times.
Dyer's
And
middle
they have to be a
tower
little
is
bit
under
careful.
attack.
Well,
Radiant
high ground. Is he going to be able to get back to base? Is the question.
Oh, nice another strike. Look at Topson's damage. Oh my god, they might get the kill onto Roger. Will play super overpositioned. Not gonna matter though. No one does have to keep pretty heavily with the BKB.
Basically, for high ground. So, I mean, Mobe dying, not the greatest, but you do get an Aghanim shard for yourself. It's onto the AA, so a little bit of extra control as well. Never hurts. Cold Feet maxed out, of course. Be able to combine together with that. And we're even starting to see the supports go a little bit more defensive tools. I still really feel like he's got the Scythe of Vice feed up here on Topson. Would still love the Nullifier, you know? Cancels out the Hurricane Pipe from Low Pleb. It's going to cancel out the Yule Scepter, cancels out the Ghost Scepter, and if Timbersaw does eventually decide to go for this Aghanims, it could be effective against that too. That solo kill. Wait a second.
One's gonna be nearby. The Lincolns get the charge in from Kitrak. Topson's a little bit hesitant with that Ice Blast connecting. So what is it? Double BKB expended? Meanwhile, here in Arena, Roger. Somebody just get out. Very nicely done. So I guess when we spoke about Radiant using some of their own stuff, but I now Arena on cooldown as well. And you do have Roche up in 20 seconds by the looks of it. It will spawn up top being nighttime.
Neutralized. Thompson got the Rofo. Drow wasn't quite so lucky. More on survivability. Not my favorite tier 2 neutral item. The Gossamer Cape coming through, but no insane value coming through from that this time around for Kitrak. He really just is trying to be as tanky as possible. Of course, movement speed for a Spirit Breaker is king.
Which, importantly, Dire aren't going to have a gem compared to what Radiant do, so is this something that needs to be considered from the supports? How much do you value this blink on the Bron?
I mean, you have to wonder what he's thinking with it, right? Like, is it
Radiant's
one of those
bottom
things
tower
where he
is
just
under
wants
attack.
to give the blink and legit, like, point blank ice blast someone so that there's no way out of it? You also get that little bit of stun coming from the cold feet, and, you know, maybe that's enough to be able to take
Radiant's
out no
bottom
one,
tower
because it's still
is
going to be
under
quite a little while, potentially, until he goes into the Aghanim shard for himself. Might be able to play with. This looks like
Oh, very close.
Dyer's top tower is under attack.
be able to get another tier 1 tower almost. Waiting for someone to show on the lane. It's just Roger here for now. Haven't placed down any sort of sentries to
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
get the tower.
Networthy is starting to grow a little bit more, but again, they have really stemmed what was a huge early game advantage and looking right out of control.
Dyer's top
It looks
tower
like with this
is
Aegis,
fallen.
it is time to now get some objectives, and they will do that at a rapid rate. They need to respond, and they need to do it now. Second lead position of BKBP, and so it gets a pretty decent jump.
Dyer's middle tower
A bit
is under
expended. They won't be able to get the kill to no one.
No, Arena is enormous. Like, there really isn't anything stopping Thompson from being able to do a lot of damage now. I think he might have just eaten the cheese as well. So, you don't have that to be able to play around with anymore. Just wants to, again, keep the pressure up as much as possible.
Esports got to go as well. It's giving them way too much information, and you have vital heroes that rely on positioning. And Ancient Apparition, Rubik, the Drow Ranger, and you honestly need to see the Mars. That is your only blink initiator. So this one has to go. I think you want to go high ground once again with the vision you have on OG.
LeBron, and then like not only his item build, but what he's got queued up and the neutral item. You know, a Blink Dagger AA with Cyclewise queued up and an enchanting quiver. He just really wants to be able to get that quick pick off, enable it for the rest of his team.
Nice spear. Nice spear. Alright. Let's pass it a bit early. I don't even know if they got the pass through if they did. BKB's gonna be expended from no one. Look at no pleb. Just beelining it towards the Morphling and DNC would just miss onto Kid Track. But that
Dire's
was
middle tower
an
is
ages
under
advantage
attack.
with a ward on the higher ground that completely goes array. And right, sorry, and now BNC and I mean, they're in a great position. Oh, it's a 10,000 deficit, but this is kind of artificial with a bounty hunter in a way.
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the net worth lead ever since that first row shard.
Oh, that's the moonwalk. Oh, okay, well done, well done, well done.
My just reward.
Not Dandelion Amulet's the choice for this one. Where's the magic damage coming from, really?
Topson's Penny? Holy crap, that's a lot of damage. Topson's also sitting in the shark room. Maybe doesn't have the greatest mana, but we'll have the link up shortly. Okay. Damage, not really. What's the stats on it?
Not much.
Movement and mana is really, I think
So,
a mana is vital on a Mars because he could consider
know.
now.
Do better than
That is very true. Yeah. Yeah, just to speak about this and at least what it provides you. I mean, movement speed, you need that as a blink initiator, and mana on Mars in particular because you are a refresher builder. And he wouldn't have had enough of what he's got right now. So maybe if it's desperate traits, then he could go that instead of Lotus.
yeah. Do you think Gleb thinks they have to do better than that?
I think so. I think he does. Have I heard another voice line? I don't think so. That's all I've heard from him. So we haven't spoken a lot about him, but we did mention the draft. This is your classic play here and your classic Morphling counter. He's pretty farm, dude, considering he had an abysmal lane. Like, how scared do we have to be of his current goal?
You have to be a little scared, sure. I don't think you're scared necessarily with it on its own. It's really just about finding that setup through, you know, again, PNC. You know, is he able to get another great blink spear off? Are you able to get the AA? That's really what's going to Too deep, doesn't seem like it. Roger running into the bait lake and survive those cool waters. He's got a full silver edge now as well on the drow, so a little bit of crit, a little bit of extra lack of presence on the map, just with the index.
Going for BKB.
Shot damage coming through the drow.
Appreciate that.
I mean, you're a bit of a streamer enjoyer. I mean, I'm assuming that you've seen the clip where Quake's multi-shot goes literally the full screen when he's got Hurricane Pike and Glacier.
I have not actually. No, I have not seen that.
It's pretty stupid how far away you're able to land these multi. So I have to wonder, like, he's going the Blink Dagger. It's important, don't get me wrong, but I wonder what stage he feels like, you know what? They're going to be pushing up onto our high ground. Let me just get a freaking Glacier, you know, just to be able to ping away from such long range that they really can't deal with me. And if they go that deep, we've now got the damage to potentially deal with them. We've got a heart on Mobe.
Do indeed. So you got him to play frontline. Are you going to have a response though to Seb? Because he's got Blink, Lincoln's BKB, queuing Refresher next as well. Like, that could be the ultimate X factor in the late game. Yes, you've got the Rubik, but that is the only thing you have.
Yeah. And again, he's going to have... They don't have anything else that goes through the BKB, right? It's just the spell steal. So he's going to be able to reliably now get off these Blink BKB black holes.
That should help.
Is there anything that they can potentially like look to go into that's good? Like you might just need to right click down
Radiant's
the
middle
Enigma,
tower
right?
is
So
under
really
attack.
the only thing that you're worried about is
Radiant
controlling
are
the drought
scanning.
during a blackout. And that is what Seb is going to be looking for. Gonna charge in onto Pleb. Topson again just playing. He's kind of playing like a support Clink style, you know, really just getting up in their face, creating a lot of havoc, forcing TPs away. Of course, he's got the damage to nearly take out a Timbersaw with Heart on his own.
Yeah, damage in the levels, level 20 for Topson. Pretty much second highest this game. So, I mean,
Magic
you still see
Chakra
on-
slow against the Enigma with the Midnight Pulse that you're having to contend with.
Dire are scanning.
really one of the first few times Ancient Tribe being proactive this game. No smoke,
They see
no
the
one
courier.
down to the low ground. No one's on an easy jump. He can always be a KP. You need to pin him against a tree.
Oh.
Just go for the blind. Oh, they didn't see him. I think too late, actually. Maybe they did get a glimpse. Alright, so again, one of the few times we've seen Ancient Tribe actually get out of the base. It's really been OG just controlling the map for, I mean, the entirety of this game. So they make an attempt off the mark. And now, I mean, they will be able to get tormented, but really just the important thing, we see the lead from OG as well. First, if Topson's going to get a barracks. This is very aggressive. You don't see anyone else. Importantly, Radiant, they're playing towards the top side of the map because you have Roche. There's a potential for Roche to spawn. So they will have firm control of that area, and we know how hard it is to reoccupy that when someone has a formation set up.
It is, and look at Topson, he's just still going into the high ground. So it's back here. He's just a little bit close, I think. Never mind. He's able to get away. This is kind of big, right? I mean, some of it is making space for no one. They probably, they were hoping for a little bit of a longer Roche spawn, I think, on OG. Just because you've got your level 20 on the Morphling, and he's about 1,200 gold away from the Aghanim Scepter. So you want to have it right before the Roche pit is about to happen. It's going to, of course, swing back, in my opinion, in Ancient Tribe's favor, if the AA is able to get into something like this side device with the Blink Dagger. I just think that that's going to be coming far too late. So, like, the next 5 minutes is all G's. After that, Ancient Tribe has the possibility.
This Hex is so ambitious. This is a pipe dream and a half if I've ever seen one. I just... If you need a Hex, can't you ask Robe to pick it up? Like, what are you going now? That he just completed Chivas. He's got Blink as well, so it's like he can. And maybe there's an Octarine to be considered.
Just go and Axe.
Scepter, yeah. Scepter.
I really don't know why he hasn't yet. They have no
Alex?
offensive spell.
Scouting with the Skeleton Walk. They're going to see BNC. Alright, Topson quickly just removes the Rubik from the grain. And now they're going to have the numbers advantage with Roche up in 50 seconds. They're still ready to go though.
They just need to back off as a team. Don't let anyone get solo.
Topson, he's going to get melted. Pleb's able to stand strong with a Drow Ranger, and we can see how much damage she can do. We saw for the Kling's Pride dude, Move. It feels the strength of this hero. He knows no fear currently. He still hasn't even got the Scepter as well.
With this TP.
He's got the Replica to potentially play with. Okay, yeah. Very, very.
How much is this? They've still got the tier 1 tower on OG to be able to play around with. So when Topson comes back up, Roche will have spawned for about 35 seconds. So should be enough time to be able to get back and contest this. But they know that Roshan is most likely going to have spawned at this point. See, Little Pleb so hesitant of going onto that front lines. Alex, despite having bought back, still uses that Arcane Supremacy plus the Aether Lens plus the Psychic Headband to place it for complete safety.
No one bought out for Scepter. Going for the BKB from Roger. They've got a great position on high ground. It's going to be so difficult for them to penetrate the Drow's position.
Locked into the Drow, not the Timber. Reduce damage on Pleb. I think they know that they cannot go into this Roche pit. And he doesn't have any Manta Style or BKB on Pleb, so he's just perma-tracked here. Give that all-important time for Topson to get back up here with the rest of the boys. Roger's the one that was tracked as well, stolen by Alex.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Smoke. I think it was.
Smoked under the ward. Alex.
They should know now at least. No sentry there, so potential the gem. You can see again, out position. They're going to give him the information. The track. Not going to mess around as well. They want to try and take the control and team fighter out of the equation. BNC will at least be able to land the arena. Go down there, so standing strong, try to control him. They're going to go to the left. Visioning over to the trowel. Stolen black hole, but it's too late. They're going to try and buy back the whole plant. They won't get too much value out of the stolen black hole. They use too much on the first round of guys. Seb jumps on up, but no one. He's really the person that's in trouble. Pinned against the wall, and no one goes down. And now Lil Pep, he'll get the final laugh of this team fight. Seb also buys out for the refresher. So two big calls without a buyback. Third Roche goes the way of Ancient Tribe.
I mean, the only big buyback that you're using there was Lil Pep, and he's going to get the Aegis off the back of this. Just that little bit of extra control that he was able to get turning around the black hole. Get a bit of a free kill as well on BNC. Of course, has the buyback for himself, but they still don't lose the racks. They still maintain the gem as well, so they're going to be able to sweep across
Pleb's
the
in
map.
danger.
He needs the boys. He needs Mobe to join him.
Nice aggressive pike. It's not going to matter though.
Look at that point blank.
Jump in. What a shot, AA! Who gives a damn? Cheese Eden. He'll protect his own life, but they have used almost every component of that third Roche. Stop Kid Track's charge though. Build himself, Mobe. It's alright, because Pleb can jump and Mobe's going to blink as well to follow in pursuit. But now the gem is reacquired.
They got two.
Okay, they got two. Never mind.
That's what I was expecting out of this AA blast, right? It really takes all of the questions out of the equation. You're always going to be able to land the ice blast, and LeBron, he has been the one to just turn a lot of these fights. You know, if no one is dead, I really don't think you're at all concerned on Ancient Tribe. You know, it is an amazing Morphling game this time around, but just because of this AA pick, if you're going to first pick a Morphling, you have to expect that some of these counters are going to come, and LeBron has been playing it pretty well. A little hesitant of player going into anything that's going to be able to remove that track for himself. But he does have a ninja gear as well to be able to play around with, in addition to his blink dagger and the silver edge, so be mindful of that. He's also holding onto this refresher shard. You have to wonder if you want to give that one over to BNC, sure.
I'd be very surprised if he keeps holding it.
Let's go.
Did he use it straight away? I'm now convinced he's never used it. I'm now convinced he's never used it. If you use something, a new ability straight away, yeah, you're not comfortable with it.
I mean, it just gives you an extra 200 range, right? And you have to remember that multi-shot is a range multiplier, 1.75. So, you know, it's just going to be so much more value than what you're actually getting. I wouldn't be surprised if this is a lot of people's first time seeing the Glacier, but I can't wait to see it come out in a lot of these fights. It really takes away Topson's potential to solo you, unless he gets off that side device. But again, like, he's got a Lincoln Sphere as well to play with on Lil Pleb. So also holding onto the gem too, which I really don't hate. You know, maybe anticipating that a Thorn's going to be coming through next. KB being picked up.
The smoke on smoke as well. I'm gonna go around.
It's good potential inside the whole game, man.
Without a doubt.
25.
Smoke pops. And they're gonna be able to blink away. Seb's actually leading the charge.
Full wrap.
Walk inside. This is super awkward. If a fight breaks out now.
No.
There's nothing they can do against
Big steal.
Chase him down. There's a buyback out of BNC, but that will provide them nothing. 3 heroes now in the grave without a buyback.
Bounty route enough. It's so far away.
Well, Timber's going to get enough in 5 seconds anyway, so Wouldn't matter.
TP back, LeBron. They need your ice blast.
I died. Oh, didn't see. So you got Rubik up in 15.
I think they're going to be able to... No.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Maybe he gets them on the full retreat. And you still haven't lost the melee racks after all this.
Dire's
LeBron getting
top
caught out in a
barracks are under
disastrous
attack.
position, but what a three-man black hole that comes out from Alex there.
But it's you'd say that's still a winning fight though for rating. Yeah, you use 2 buybacks, one on the Mars, one on the Timber, and we are seeing multiple fights in a row. There is no quick black hole
Dire's
response.
top barracks are under attack.
I'm impressed with Alex, but it's got to be said he just has to do it faster, otherwise they're just going to go for the drow again. It's a hard position for him to be in, but it's the position they're in.
You think we're putting that one on Alex? I mean, they were very split. Very.
No, but they're not. That's not what I mean. What I mean is that okay, we've seen back-to-back fights, right, where Seb just goes straight for the drow, and you can still black hole, but if you do not cancel that thing straight away, the drow will die. And we've seen that back-to-back now. Seb doesn't care about anyone else. It is the only person is the drow. So what I'm saying is, like, he's been great on steals, but I'm sorry, you have to do better. It's otherwise. Look, I'm sorry.
No remorse.
If you want to win, you have to do some godly plays with some godly reactions. And again, I need to say this. I think he's done very well with stolen abilities, but there's no one else that can stop Black Hole, right? And if you are just a little bit too late, if Plague dies, that's fight over. And we've seen that now. You got 2 people with no buyback. That's really what I mean.
My just reward.
Come on. I'm not trying to be a bad guy. I'm just saying, like, he has to really, if he could do some
Try not
crazy
to be,
stuff,
but
they
if
can
you
come
are,
back.
you are who you are, you know?
No. Come on now, come on. Guys, I will.
Are they using this gem to bait? They've got the gem on the deck next to the Morphling Mantle.
Dire's courier has been killed.
Inside of a base with a glacier is where you want to be on Ancient Tribe, as long as you're not getting corralled around the stairs.
Are scanning.
Oh my god, this guy knows the fee, holy. Pop's getting shoved out as well with a catapult and some eidolons, so they'll kind of need to reposition.
Dire's top barracks are under attack.
Why?
They were going for that AA Ice Blast into Growl's damage. Getting to that point, Mobe has to be a little bit careful.
Is he showing top?
Ooh, okay. Actually, the Spirit Breaker being the first one to go that item that I've been wanting Topson to go for the whole game in the Nullifier. It's going to be pretty decent timing and be able to respond to Mobe's agony.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Oh, nice telekinesis. I'm just gonna force though.
Track though.
You'll have to do better than that.
Free.
So Pled's buyback is back up in under 20, but no money. That's the big thing. And for Dire, it's only Rubik with buyback. Ayers is about to be back up, so you will have 2 to work with, whereas Radiant, they have 3. So we looks like room for the long haul. What's the probability? 75%. Okay.
I'd say that's about right. I mean, it's all about, like, is Pleb going to get caught out? To me, because he is the only one that can respond to this black hole. He's the only one that you're wanting to use the black hole on, so it really just does come down to a bit of a standoff.
Burning army on. He bought it too, so.
Hit the burning barrage as well. Topson just be able to quickly shove out lanes.
How many shards have they got? Oh, I mean, it's only 1 on Kid Truck, so. That's a full Octarine on Seb. Okay. He's so huge and he's not even top net worth. He's slotted.
I want to make the
Dire's
Octarine not
bottom
be in your
tower
back.
is under attack.
It was a little waste.
What do you swap? Do you just shadow on and off? Yeah, I guess boots.
Yeah, shadow.
Yeah, shadow gives you movement speed.
I think he had a ninja well once.
Illusion.
Trickster's close.
So it looks like we're kind of just waiting around for Roche. I'd say this favors Die with a longer Roche spawn. I think only was a minute 30 maybe. So I mean, really, you're waiting for your buybacks to be back up. That's the big thing. So, unfortunately, they won't be. They're going to be in a position where, because you don't have map control, you don't know when Roche is up. So you're kind of forced to come outside the base and take a fight.
That's nearly the 25 as well, and I mean, they want to give him a little bit of extra priority, right? If he can stand here backed up by the rest of the team, farm this creep wave, get his 25, will also give him enough for buyback as well. Gotta get him this buyback. He's like 350 gold away.
You got the 25 at least. That's a start. This camp should give it to him as well. They might just go bottom though. The truck's kind of prepping the way for no one to force them back.
Flip available to leak, but Alex, he's the one to have to deal with it. Of course, knowing that he can TP into that outpost off the cliff. No, they're not.
Exposed barracks.
They're using all the TPs back as well. Roshan is not going to be contested. Oh, but who gets
they're gonna, yeah, wow, they're gonna kill him as a response to that though. So we're in a little rebuttal, but this is the big issue now. You've got an exposed barracks, which means there's always that thing as a trigger for Ancient Triad to come back instead of contesting Roche, which is now available. It's gonna go bottom pretty shortly though, 20 seconds.
He's already kind of setting up for it. He wants to be able to pick off anyone that might be trying to set up vision to be able to contest it. Some of them might be going out to the quote-unquote safe side of the map. That quick pick up with now the size of the ice that he's got picked up with the Mindbreaker as well. Drought has the BKB to be able to contest with that. Really not going to be able to stop too much else though.
So he's got the Scepter now eaten. Extra damage with the Black Hole.
50 seconds on buyback for Mobe. 20 on Mars. Again, high ground with the Glacier.
Double damage.
Not wanting to stay out on the map for too long, but needing to make sure that he gets rid of that watch of vision. Did just take Roche. All vision theirs for this point in time. Where Lev is farming by old G at the point.
My just reward.
Waves. Both got it. Seeing him as a bit of bait here. LeBron looking to back him up. Ice Blast available. No Scythe of Ice for the AA, unfortunately.
What is kind of the game plan with this high ground siege? How do you need to structure a push from OG?
I think you can just utilize the Burning Army for a lot of the space that it provides. It's also potentially taking away the Blink Dagger potential.
Far out. One proc just did a K damage, maybe with more, and no one? Sorry, continue. You're burning our army for space.
Cancel the Blink Dagger, and then, you know, you don't have as much response coming through from BN. More aggressive.
They are reading this well, dude. And the chain controls will be perfect to prevent any form of magic immunity. Mobe's going to try and do whatever he can to provide some space and distraction from the barracks. We'll be able to get out as soon as they see the teleports down bottom. Do you pursue though?
They're splitting up the map so well, right? You've got Seb up to level 25 as well, so he's got the extra Eidolons being converted. You could use the Clinks to just shove in the lane naturally with the Dark Pack. Some Hero Breaker charge through one. And with all tier 3 towers gone, like, you've only got these melee Raxes to be able to defend. I think it's going to get to the point where you might need to give up one, but, you know, it's just a matter of how efficiently can old G execute. Holding on to that top melee Rax.
No, starting to come outside the base though. Reclaim their own triangle back. 50 seconds with a 4v5.
I wonder if BNC... This isn't silly, is it? Like, could he go the regen talent for level 25, and if Drow gets Arena, just drop it on her to maybe, like, prevent the Clinks from hitting it onto you or something?
Another nice opening. They're doing a pretty good job recently to be able to get some of these slimy heroes. I will go back to that surely. I think they're going to wrap on bottom now. I mean, Pleb's positioning very aggressively. Once he kicks back, the rest of the team's a little bit too far away as well. He's up with high ground. And now with disadvantage, he should be able to get the kill. Him over to the right side. Mobe's continuing to make some stays. He's stuck inside the right poles. And Seb just hits no one. This dude's got the
Gotta get back quickly.
It doesn't matter. When Drow is nearby, Pleb will pump in a stupid amount of damage. He's coming as well. What can they really do? No timing on the speed from PNC. Why that Pleb? Who jumped in action as well? The clicks will not escape. Trying to scurry out of the cover of the skeleton wall. But Ancient Tribe lose absolutely no one.
It's all pleb. Like, this is how you have to play when you're playing from this far behind, right? All lanes shoving in, down to your last racks. And he just goes for the ballsy play. Use the silver edge. They might not have warded defensively. And Seb, he might even die too.
He might not even escape with the haste. What's the play? You refresh it a blink away? I guess Ice might stop it instantly, and you can just Shadow Blade and escape. Oh, he got stuck. Flip blinked, it got stuck. Alright, well, what's the call now? 50 seconds. You don't know there's no buyback on Morph. But I mean, final.
Safe thing, you know, push the tier 2 mid. Labs at the stage where you can just easily take that tier 1 tower top. They've still got it somehow. Very minimal armor. I don't think it's enough to just be able to, you know, push the lanes out, farm the jungle a little bit more. And Mobe's got
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
Intrigued why he's got the boots in.
Personal preference.
Personal preference.
Surely you take it.
Far out.
Come on, play.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So, we've got some time. Can you, before you were starting to mention the arena, Grand's regen, he did go for it. What was kind of the
if Drow gets arena'd, maybe she, in Black Hole, maybe she lives. Pretty much that, right? Because not only do you want to drop it on her for that purpose, but also you just want to make sure that, kind of like what we saw at the very end of game 1, right? You block some of that range damage that's coming through. Of course, Morphling can just look to waveform inside of it, still look to attack the Drow Ranger, but Clinks doesn't have that luxury.
Can we even see, because for some reason LeBron could go luxury items, so can we consider some more luxury items? Are you thinking about some form of Wind Waker? Because fights have been won off the back of Black Hole. So if you can waste that and save someone inside it, could that be something you are considering as a super pipe dream?
I'd rather see Alex get it. I mean, he's already got the Yules right halfway towards building it, so it makes a lot more sense for him. For LeBron, what could I see for him? I mean, Spirit Break has not been able to get the...
Stole that Wisdom Room. And he's going to get out Live to Tail, and they're coming in. They've got super good ward to play with as well. We'll still run into Road Job, who's just making space. It's a distraction thing, that's all it is now for the bounty. Topson's just waking up though. Meanwhile, no one tries to do the ancient apparition, who's got a buyback. Ever so patient Enigma, waiting in the wings, hoping for the perfect black hole. But he needs to go surely. His ancient tribe starting to retreat back to their side of the map. And Mobe, they got on Seb. They're going to now force his own hand. Seb, if you're not going to jump, they're going to make you do so. He'll try and blink away, but Topson is into the middle. They're going to target out Pleb, but Pleb will turn. Nothing to fear, as there is no black hole for ancient tribe to worry about.
It's a big creep wave in your mid lane, though. Someone's going to need to go back and deal with this, and looks like once again, Ancient Tribe will be able to retreat as a team. No man left behind. Maybe Pleb. He's still hungry for kills. He's got that Shadow Blade, sorry, Silver Edge coming up in a couple of seconds. Oh,
they see Pleb.
Seb.
Just blind black hole? No, he didn't go for it. That's a risky play. That's high value, high risk, but now no one. Pleb's got the reinforcements. Almost meant to dodge the silence. Man, that was close. He still gets away though. Far out, this game is on a nice edge, and man, it means so much for these teams.
It does. That mid lane is still pushing in even more. Finally, the TP started to come back from Pleb, realizing that, you know what, we've been able to claw back another few free kills. You did use the buyback onto the Ancient Apparition, so again, not going to be able to make.
Wait, they got no one. round of illusions.
I'll
He
take that.
just wanted to check if he was baiting as well. He used the hex onto one of them just in case it was a little bit of a bait coming through.
Mine at last.
What are there any like crazy tier 5s you feel could change the status of this game?
Look at the dead full rat, all 5 of them. Send
Radiant's
them down
top
different
tower
lanes.
is under attack.
Oh, you wanted a real response? Okay.
Yeah, I wanted a real one. Sorry, I thought you were gonna follow up with a non-shit answer. That's
Yeah,
okay.
well, you should know me better by now. Okay, so I'm gonna sound like a freaking broken record. I still want to see a nullifier on Clinks because then if he goes into, I don't know, a pirate hat or a Stygian Desolator, that's gonna be enough to blow up some of these heroes, especially at this late stage where buyback is king. And you know AA doesn't have it. So I feel like if you're able to take that out of the fight, then, you know, maybe you're able to allow the Morphin to actually take it by himself.
It's not gonna mess around. Look at the black hole and instantly refresh. He's ready to go for a second round. Buyback on Timber. Mars has been caught out as well as Topson just tears him apart. He's out of the black hole and now they're gonna be punished. That is tip-worthy, my friend. What have you just done? A team wipe. And now Roche and time to walk it down.
Oh my god, this is the stuff that Legends are made of. You know, these sorts of quick reaction plays like that. He was waiting the entire time. I want to have a look at his player perspective. I'm going to download the replay after all this. Win, lose, or anything else coming through. And all that damage. He's able to output as well.
Radiant's top
12k
tower
just
is
on the
under
drow
attack.
alone.
I must have them all.
What the hell, dude? What the hell, man? What is that? Who has got reactions like that? That is
Holy
that's
bastard.
actually stupid. That is so dumb.
Let's get some tier 5s.
I am concealed.
Here we go.
Yeah, thank you. Let me see that bad boy again. I like this. Just black hole. You haven't been using in fights. You see an opportunity to get the timber off, which could potentially force a buyback. You kill him to start. It looks good.
The chain control is perfect as well. He wasn't able to pop the Aghanim's on the Timber Saw. Such a tempting target, the Mars. They're still holding the buyback. They're still holding it. Plebs attacking. Quick reaction speed to be able to get out of it. And then they both have the roots of trouble on the Mars and the Timber Saw. Bots too as well. So that channel time is even shorter. They're able to instantly get back into it. Timber instantly pops the reactive armor as well. And they just blow the hell up on that Morphling.
Atomic bomb status is Mobe. And one more bomb might send this game into shatters, and for Ancient Tribe to be able to take our first series of the night. We do have some tier 5s getting picked up. We have to quickly mention as well, Age is on Mobe because he did buy back. That was a Scepter Roche, right? So Scepter picked up for Lil Pleb. I like that because I was actually going to start to mention, I was going to ask you a question of, do you prefer this over Moonshard? So, all right, he's got that very old
And the
Hypothermia and the Moonshard.
And Nightcap.
Now we can look at tier 5s. Any that you currently see that can break open this game?
Just looking at this giant wave up top, someone's going to need to deal with it. What can break open the game? I mean, the X Machina feels
Dyer's
pretty
top
great,
barracks
right?
are
Double-sided
under
device.
attack.
It's already very tanky, so you obviously just want to enable that further. What's OG going by? Again, I'm on board with the Desolator, I'm on board with the Pirate Hat. Fallen Sky, I mean, if it enables you to kill LeBron again, like he was still a factor in that last fight, right? He was able to get that link side-wise into the Ice Blast, and I mean, he was why no one wasn't able to stand and truly fight with the rest of his team. Not like this Ex Machina is going to be... He does have 5 active items, but no Satanic, you know, nothing like that you're going to be able to play around.
I would think of these always... You can never scoff at that.
Radiant's
Shield
top
on
tower
Seb.
is under attack.
Big Timber.
He's got H's. They stole Black Hole as well, and they won't even lose Mobe.
Oh, okay. I actually forgot about this item that Alex has picked up. He's got the Book of Shadows. So with the Rubik playing with that extra cast range from the Arcane Supremacy, you just use that onto the Drow if she gets caught. She is the only person that you're playing a lot of these team fights around. And now Little Pleb's level 30 as well. So
What is Roger doing?
Sinne.
Blaze doing the
Sinne
jam.
signal.
Looking to TP away.
What did I? So what could he possibly been doing? What? Because he went in the base thinking maybe something was dropped. Was he wanting gems?
Maybe a rapier on the Drow's courier. I don't know.
I'm so intrigued. I am so intrigued. Black hole gets used. Everyone TP's back.
Next.
So no one, and they get the stun, and Lil Pleb's gonna be in with the damage as well.
Big
Doesn't have time to wait for more wait. Even pops the X marker for some extra spells to use.
What is this, Axe
Another
Library?
round of the BKB.
This is the Timbersaw boss.
Yeah,
Just
alright,
a bit.
that's a dieback.
Just a number.
Oh my god. 64% probability now for the boys on Ancient Tribe. Buybacks, it's only Morph and Bounty Hunter for Radiant. There is
10 minutes. We've had I want to say, God, what's my maths like? 48k gold swing in Ancient Tribe's favor.
That's not too much.
Ancient
Radiant's
Tribe
middle
win this
tower
game. There's
is
no
under
question that
attack.
Lil Pleb's the MVP.
Oh no.
Radiant structures
No
are
question.
fortified.
Tiny bit early on that Ice Blast. Thinking that they might have timed it to be able to land when Topson was looking to respawn. Just prevent him from joining into this fight, prevent him from defending the high ground, but it's like they'll need to back off anyway. That tier 1 tower is still standing up top. The creeps should be in it.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
I got a Wind Waker. So we brought that
Radiant's
up
top
earlier.
tower
Yep.
has
We got Wind
fallen.
Waker now, Book of the Shadows as well.
Anyone have a telescope? But they've got 2 Book of Shadows. AA's got it too.
Alright. Just to kind of remind some of the stakes online, because this is a very important last second day here of Western Europe. Ancient Tribe, a win puts him in a very good position to not get relegated. It will at least force tiebreakers if Alliance beat Nigma. And for OG, a win also gives them a very good chance to be promoted. That could potentially set tiebreakers up with 5-2 count. Even if they lose, there could also be tiebreakers as well, but you do not want that guarantee. This is what both sides are playing for, and what pretty much every team is playing for today and tomorrow.
I honestly was questioning, like, what is Drow even going to do
Radiant's
with all of
bottom
this
tower
gold that
is
he's
under
got? And of
attack.
course, when you've got an excess gold, just buy a rapier. You know, of course, there's
One starts, and Novane leads here instantly into the step like, damage going. That is the fight that they have been waiting for ever so patiently. It pops in the rampage. They will not, but it does not matter. The damage has been dealt.
now have no buyback on 2 of their heroes. 47 seconds and 44 seconds away. Lanes, of course, they're naturally going to push in, and they've even got, what did I tell you, Book of the Dead coming through here from Kittrack. It's going to help with this push up towards the top side of the map, but I wonder if they even feel safe enough to be able to go up onto the high ground without that double black hole available, because Seb just completely turned this game on its head. Net worth lead is back to basically 0.
We have a goddamn rapier as well. It's a 3v5 for 80 seconds.
You had to buy back. Why not?
Dire's middle barracks are under attack.
They're just going to try and blow someone up, it looks like, as they're into high ground.
For Warriors.
Yeah.
Dire's
Both
middle
have
barracks
buyback.
has fallen.
Pleb, go too far forward. Realizing
Do you
Dire's top
keep megas or
barracks are under
buyback? What's
attack.
more important?
I
Dire's
don't
top
think you give this
barracks has
long.
fallen.
You got to make a decision very soon, though.
Yeah.
Because if they get set up, then the buybacks could be wasted. You can't let Lil Pleb get jumped as well. I mean, look at that. You see how cautious he is.
Got the X Machina though, to be able to play around with. We cold feet coming through, and there we go. Opposite, so BKB available once again. Rally around Opposite. Pleb, can't get caught.
Dire's middle
Also Showdown, a second to follow. They'll pop in an aggressive glyph early on to try and buy them some time. As the as well, with the turn exposed Topson. All his eyes and attention is put towards ending this game and sending us to a game 3.
Oh boy. It really did feel like Ancient Tribe got all of those neutral items they could have possibly hoped.